Hello, darkness, my old friend. You've come to talk with me again. Sens lose 7-4 to the Vancouver Canucks. So before we get into the game, let's go over a couple of facts. The Sens played in Vancouver last night. The game didn't start till 10 o'clock. They didn't show up for the first two periods. They were trailing 4-0 after the second period. Most of the fans who were crazy enough to stay awake to watch the game probably said, to heck with this, I'm going to bed after the second period. And then you show up in the third, score 4 times, and make a game of it. I mean, I guess on the bright side, at least you did something like that when the game was on at 10, and most people weren't watching it anyway. But for those who did stay awake, what a waste of time. And you can say karma, whatever, but the people I feel most sorry for are the people who went to sleep at the end of the second period. I mean, they stay awake, watch 2 garbage periods, make the decision that, you know what, this isn't worth staying up for anymore, and then they go to bed, and the Sens finally show up. Just pathetic. Now, as for the game itself, while the 2-game winning streak was fun while it lasted, again, I might add, the 2-game winning streak was the 4th time in 2019 that the Sens have won 2 in a row, and just the 7th time it's happened all season long. And with 7 2-game winning streaks, only 2 of those were extended to 3 games, and the last time that happened was December 1st. It's been 3.5 months since the Sens won 3 games in a row. And the only other 3-game winning streak before that came in October in Ottawa's 5th, 6th, and 7th games of the season. I guess that explains why they're so comfortably in last place. I guess that's saying something, considering the Kings are bad. Ottawa's still 2 points behind them, and the Kings still have a game in hand. Let's just get into lineup changes. After a huge win over the Leafs on Saturday, the Sens rolled with the exact same lineup for their contest against the Canucks. There was some concern before the game whether Cody Ceci would be able to play, but he suited up and was in the starting lineup. Unfortunately, it didn't take the Sens long to determine Ceci shouldn't have been in the lineup, as he played .459 before they pulled him out of the game and were forced to play the rest of the game with just 5 defensemen. And boy did it show, as the Sens were absolutely taken to the woodshed by the Canucks, who came into the contest still in the thick of the playoff hunt and came out flying. It didn't take the Canucks long to set the tone, and the Sens were just never able to answer. The Canucks come out absolutely flying in the first period as they outshoot the Sens 14-7, but can't find their first goal until more than 14 minutes into the period. After Cody Ceci gets sent off to the box for holding, the Canucks go to the power play and draw first blood. Edler has the puck at the point, he fires a shot on goal, Horvat tips it in front, it gets by Nilsson, and the Canucks lead 1-0. And the Sens do a great job of helping their goalie in front. Thankfully, things don't get any worse despite the Canucks' constant pressure, and the Sens get out of the first period, trailing just 1-0. But not even a minute into period 2, the Canucks extend their lead. Big as skies went into the Sens zone, the Canucks look to be offside with 2 different players, the puck bounces off the ice, Tanner Pearson whacks it out of midair, gets by Anders Nilsson, and the Canucks lead 2-0. 2 things about this goal. First of all, it looked way offside. I mean, that's a tough one because the puck was way in the air, but there were 2 Canucks players in the zone. I guess it's kind of hard to prove it really wasn't offside when the puck's so high in the air. But secondly, man, props to Tanner Pearson. I bragged about a Matt Duchene goal in Philadelphia earlier this year, and Pearson deserves some props of his own. That goal seemed to light a spark under the Canucks as they outshoot the Sens 18-6 the rest of the way, score 2 more goals, and grab a 4-0 lead. Just over 5 minutes later, Christian Jarosz gets caught for pinching, Zach Smith gets absolutely made a fool of, Jake Virtanen races back the other way 2-on-1, fires a wrister by Anders Nilsson, and the Canucks lead 3-0. Well, I see this as one of those, yeah, I don't feel like playing defense kind of nights. My condolences, Nilsson. You're in for a long one. And after Pajot gets sent off for boarding late in the period, the Canucks go to the power play and extend their lead to 4-0. Now, first of all, before we get into the goal, the Pajot hit. Was it awful? No. Was it bad and illegal? Yeah. If Pajot takes a slightly different angle, he can seal off Sautner on his way by. He doesn't do that and drilled him into the board straight on the numbers. Pajot is expected to have a hearing with the Department of Player Safety, and I would expect he'll get at least a game. While it was a penalty and probably should be suspendable, I am a little frustrated. Every time the Sens do something illegal, they get suspended for it. But it seems like every time the other team does something illegal to the Sens, the league goes, yeah, nothing to see here, carry on. If Pajot ends up getting suspended, which I assume he probably will, he'll end up being the 3rd suspension of the season for the Sens, and 4th punishment including fines. If we go back 3 seasons, the Sens have been suspended 7 times and fined twice. Do you want to guess how many times the other team has been suspended or fined? Thank God for Mark Stone, because it happened once. In the last 3 seasons, that's 9 Department of Player Safety penalties for the Sens, and 1 for the team playing the Sens. Yeah, you could try to argue that the Sens are just a dirty team, or the sample size is small, or it's just coincidental, but if you actually watch the games, you'd know there's something to that stat. The league may outwardly say that they want to keep the Sens in Ottawa, but they certainly do anything they can to hurt the Sens team. If it isn't suspensions or fines, they're taking goals away or adding goals for the other team. It's happened all season long, and it will continue to happen. Seriously though, I know for a lot of non-Sens fans, watching every Sens game would be extremely painful, but seriously, actually watch every Sens game. I mean, you don't even have to go watch another game to see the blatant bias against the Sens. Pajot hit Sautner from behind. Oh, that's a boarding penalty. Oh, we better call the league. A few minutes before that, Jake Virtanen cross-checks Zach Smith in the back. The ref goes, oh, nothing to see here. The league goes, oh, nothing to see here. I mean, admittedly, the Pajot hit was worse, but are you kidding that Virtanen gets off scot-free? Smith had absolutely no idea he was there, and Virtanen just cross-checks him in the back. Listen, Pajot deserves punishment, and he probably should get a call from the league, but there is absolutely no way you call Pajot for that penalty and then let Virtanen go off scot-free. As a minor hockey referee, I spend a lot of time dealing with checking from behind. You want to know why that is? Because the NHLers do it. Oh, Jake Virtanen was allowed to cross-check Zach Smith from behind, and no penalty on the play, and the league isn't going to do anything about it. Guess that means kids are allowed to do that too, aren't they? No. Can't happen in minor hockey, shouldn't happen in the NHL either. But no, it happened to the Sens, so let's just keep on keeping on. Like I said, Pajot's was worth, but it's still a joke. You know what? It's probably not bias at all. The league probably just has no clue what they're talking about. Actually, not probably. That's absolutely the truth. I mean, you want to know about incompetence from the league, just look at what happened a few minutes earlier. Anders Nilsson is at the top of his crease, the Canucks take the puck hard to the net, jam away at it, poke it through his legs, it goes across the line, or at least it seems to, Jarosz pulls it out, and the refs rule it no goal for goalie interference. How exactly is it that one game you can yank the puck out from a goalie's glove, the next game you can't, then you can shove the goalie's pad, get away with it, then the next game you shove the goalie's pad, it has nothing to do with the goal, and you don't get away with that one? The NHL and the rules. Do you know what they are? 'Cause I sure don't. Anyway, rant over. The Canucks are on the power play, Besser gets the puck at the point, he takes a couple strides in, fires a wrister by Anders Nilsson, and the Canucks lead 4-0. I mean, I know it's a power play, but could somebody cover one of the league's more dangerous goal scorers? No? Alright, fine. Just go to the third down 4-0 then. And early in the third, it just gets even worse. After scoring in the first minute of the second period, Tanner Pearson gets his second of the game by scoring in the first minute of the third as well. The Sens can't clear the puck out of the zone. Eriksson, Horvat, Pearson, goal. Canucks lead 5-0. And there's more of that excellent defense. Not only do they not play defense, but they don't clear the puck out either. What a shock. And after an absolutely nightmarish first 40 minutes and 57 seconds, the Sens actually settle in and start to play hockey. A wild Sens flurry all of a sudden actually makes this a hockey game. Then later in the period, the Sens have a choice. They can take the red pill or the blue pill. Well, in that case, I'll take the red pill. Well, that's the right choice! The Sens are on the board! What are you trying to tell me? That I can score goals? Yes, Vio, you can score goals. And that starts now. With just over 11 minutes left in the third, Dylan DeMello has the puck at the point. He sends the puck down low. Max Verino tips it in front. It gets by Jakob Markstrom. And just like that, it's 5-1 Canucks. The goal is Veronat's first in the NHL and extends Vio's point streak to 2 straight games. Much like Neo, who makes dodging bullets look easy, Vio makes tipping pucks look easy, as Jakob Markstrom wasn't expecting the tip in front, and he gets his first NHL goal. Man, that tip, that was a really smart play by Vio. As a young guy, you might not expect him to make that play, but we have to remember, he spent 4 seasons playing in the university, so he's a little bit older than a typical rookie, and he's showing his maturity. If he keeps that up, we'll be seeing plenty more of that. But the Sens weren't done there either. Just over a minute after that, it's Brady time. Pajot pulls off the old behind the net sneaky pass as he throws the puck behind his back to a wide open Tkachuk in front. He bangs it by Markstrom, who isn't even paying attention, and it's 5-2 Canucks. What a goal from Tkachuk. Those kinds of passes I love to see. And props to Pajot. That's not an easy pass to make, and he made it look real easy. And 3.5 minutes after that, the Sens score again. Bobby Ryan has the puck in the Canucks zone. He feeds Lindbergh in front. He roofs one over Markstrom. And just like that, it's 5-3 Canucks. 3 goals in less than 5 minutes. And all of a sudden, a 5-0 game is a 5-3 game. Incredibly, the Sens would get even closer and pull it to 5-4. With 1:59 left in the third period and the Sens on the power play, Duclair and DeMello play pitch and catch. Duclair finally gets the puck back, fires one on goal, it trickles by Markstrom, gets over the line, and it's 5-4 Canucks. Unfortunately, the Sens can't get any closer, and after getting a tip-in goal in the first period, Bo Horvat tips in a goal in the third period, and the Canucks lead 6-4. And Ottawa's comeback bid comes too little, too late, and the Canucks easily come away with the win. But because it wouldn't be a close hockey game without one, that isn't the final goal of the game, and the Canucks get a free goal. 4 seconds. 4 seconds after Anders Nilsson gets pulled, the Canucks hit the empty net. Pearson steals the puck from Pajot, Eriksson gets it in his own zone, fires it all the way down the ice, into the empty net, and the Canucks lead 7-4. At least when the coaching staff ruined this game, it was already over, because Ottawa wasn't coming back from 2 down with 40 seconds left. The goal is Eriksson's 4th point of the night as he paces the Canucks to a 7-4 win. And the 2-game winning streak is over. Let's just get into good news, bad news. After the way they played in the first 2 periods, and on the first of a back-to-back, the Sens came out in the third, played way better, and that is the good news. Yeah, it was too little too late, and yeah, it was extremely frustrating to watch them play for the first 2 periods. They were outscored 4-0 and outshot 33-13. But coming out for that third period, while maybe not very important for the Vancouver game, was extremely important for their game tonight. If they roll over last night, they come into tonight's game licking their wounds from last night. Because of the way they were able to play in the third period, they come into tonight, while maybe not totally satisfied with the way they played last night, they at least feel good about themselves because they finished the game very strong. Their last memory of on the ice is playing well, and that is the good news. Now, for the bad news. The good news was the way they played in the third period. Well, guess what? The bad news is the way they played in the first 2 periods. Like I mentioned, they were outscored 4-0 and outshot 33-13 in those first 2 periods. Their defense was absolutely atrocious. Horvat was left wide open in the high slot to tip both his shots in. Virtanen made Smith look like a fool on his goal. Pearson's second goal was a tic-tac-toe off a Sens giveaway. His first goal was a result of the Sens defense just backing up and giving them the middle of the ice. Besser's goal was a result of Ottawa just sitting there letting him skate in the middle. And then Eriksson hit the empty net. All of Vancouver's goals were easily avoidable for the Sens last night, and they need to do a better job of making sure that they don't give up 7 avoidable goals. Most teams give up avoidable goals every night. And with Ottawa being a young team, I'm not expecting them to be perfect. But they were so far from perfect last night it wasn't even funny. And that is the bad news. Next up, the Sens return to action tonight when they visit the Calgary Flames. That contest will be the second and final meeting of the season between the two teams, with the Flames currently holding the upper hand thanks to a 3-2 win in Ottawa last month. That game saw Anthony Duclair hit the crossbar on a breakaway late in the third, only to see the Flames march back the other way and score the game winner. Since that contest, the Flames have been just a mediocre team, as they've sprinkled in lengthy winning streaks with lengthy losing streaks going 6-5. Over the course of the whole season, though, the Flames have absolutely been by far the better team than the Sens, as they sit second in the NHL standings with 97 points, while the Sens sit last in the NHL standings with 56 points. Both teams come into the contest with 9 games left, but the Sens come in with a minus 53 goal differential, while the Flames come in with a plus 52. With the Sens coming into the contest on the second night of a back-to-back, with travel, and the Flames coming into the contest well rested, having last night off, and needing the points to clinch the Pacific Division, Ottawa's going to need to come into that contest much more focused than they were against the Canucks if they hope to pick up a win. If they don't, the Flames will run them out of the building, and the top line of Gaudreau, Monahan, and Lindholm will absolutely crush the Sens. Don't let that happen, and come out strong. See you later tonight.